Hello and welcome to A Theory of Everything. I'm Luis Razo, the director of ASEM and host of this channel. Today I'd like to comment on the war in Ukraine and replay an important debate that took place several years ago between two highly influential political scientists in the US, Francis Fukuyama and John Mearsheimer. When I refer to this as an important debate, I mean billions of lives are at stake. To put the weight of this exchange into proper perspective, take a moment to Google these men. You'll see that they're intellectual and academic heavyweights. To summarize the debate, Fukuyama argues that Western liberal democracy, as we know it today, represents the absolute pinnacle of achievement in political theory, and it can't be improved. In contrast, Mearsheimer argues that Fukuyama's approach is naive and fundamentally flawed. I'll let you listen to the debate, but one obvious sign that Mearsheimer's vision is closer to the truth is the tragic outbreak of war in Ukraine. If you're a returning listener, you won't be surprised to know that I disagree with Fukuyama's vision, primarily because it fails to address two serious mistakes at the heart of the modern liberal order. The first of these mistakes is linked to Adam Smith's so-called labor theory of value, which Karl Marx later used to build and justify communism. The fact is that value is not objective, as Smith taught. Rather, it's subjective. Value and price depend on what a person is willing to pay, not on something inherent to the thing in question. To attempt to build a nation on the idea that every person values that nation to the same degree is a proto-communist mistake. The empirical fact is that citizens value a nation to differing degrees. I've talked about this elsewhere, so I won't belabor the point here. The second mistake at the heart of modern liberal democracy, a mistake that goes unaddressed by Fukuyama, is John Locke's idea that humans are born as infinitely malleable blank slates that can be engineered according to will. These two mistakes, one about the nature of value and the other about the malleability of humans, are so baked into the modern liberal mindset that it's probably going to take the loss of billions of lives before we understand just how mistaken they are. Mearsheimer understands this, at least indirectly, which is why he rightfully blames the war in Ukraine primarily on the United States. Mearsheimer understands that what's happening in Ukraine is a result of a certain mindset, I argue born primarily in Northern Europe in the rebellion against the Catholic and Judeo traditions of the Mediterranean. According to this Northern European mindset, a certain set of brilliant Anglo-Protestant ideas about the requirements of a just political order are infallible. And because they are infallible, the Western world is obligated to persuade and even force the rest of the planet to adopt this mistaken way of thinking. I can confidently describe this as a mistaken way of thinking because today we know that value is not objective. It's not like a pizza that can be doled out to everybody equally. That's not how value works. We also know that humans are not infinitely malleable blank slates. These are obvious mistakes. My main point in recommending this debate is that we're never going to be able to make sense of what's happening in the world today, or what's happening in Ukraine specifically, without understanding that the root causes of war are physical and mathematical in nature. Until we understand the physical and mathematical nature of humanity, we're never going to find the definitive solution we're looking for. This is an extraordinary claim, but there's extraordinary evidence to support it. I have an upcoming discussion scheduled with Professor Adrian Bajan of Duke University about this. If you're interested in knowing more about my physical argument, see the channel's inaugural lecture or stand by for my discussion with Bijan. I'll put the link to Fukuyama's debate with Mearsheimer in the video description. Remember that the reason I'm recommending this debate is to highlight the profound philosophical dilemma we're in as a species. Once we understand the seriousness of this dilemma, we'll be in a much better place to evaluate our proposal for competitive cooperation, which is the primary aim of this channel. Thanks for your time, and may God bless the people of Ukraine.